Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Shola's Mentorship Blueprint podcast, where we empower minds and shape leaders. This is where we unpack leadership without the micromanaging and definitely without hiding behind excuses. Now, if this is your first time of tuning in, you're welcome. I remain your host today, Olushola Odubanjo, a registered nurse, chartered manager, and a mentor. Today's message, it's on Lead with Purpose, Inspire with Passion, and it's going to really hit differently. Now, let's talk about pressure. Let's talk about excuses. Let's talk about leading in a way that ignites change, not just copying tradition. Let's get into it. Now, let's start with that one thing everyone keeps saying. Leadership is hard. I was overwhelmed. It's not me, it's the system. It's the pressure. I didn't mean to lead that way. I was stressed. Look, I'm not here to pretend that pressure isn't real. That is far from it. Leadership has pressure, yes, but when did pressure become a permission to lead poorly? Some of us grew up watching leaders who yelled more than they taught, who micromanage instead of mentoring, who used power instead of purpose. And now we're stepping into those same roles, repeating the same mistakes under the same banner. Well, the pressure got to me. Listen, if the pressure is real, then let your preparation be real too. If you've been given the role, the title, the influence, then guess what? You also carry that responsibility to grow into that role. You can't just say you want the title and not train your character. The question isn't, is there pressure? The question is, what are you doing about it? Now, let me say this. If you're tired of the same leadership mess, then be that shift. Don't lead how they led just because that's how it's been done. We've seen leaders who hide under excuses lots of times, but you've also seen the ones who show up with integrity. They lead with clarity, not control, with compassion, not criticism, with courage, not convenience. So, to every emerging leaders listening to me, you have a choice. You can either echo the system or you can be the exception. Stop waiting until you've spent 10 years in the role before you get it figured out. Start now. Build your leadership value. Build your leadership values now. Get your why straight now, because the world doesn't need more titles. I've said this in one of my past episodes. The world doesn't actually need more titles. It needs more transformers. Now, let's talk about passion. Somewhere along the way, we made leadership so cold, so serious, emotionally distant. We actually turned their hearts off, thinking it made us more credible. Somewhere along the line, we were told, don't be too emotional. Don't get too close. You need to keep it really professional. Now, I'm not saying these are wrong, but passion is not a weakness. It's a foil. Your passion is what makes people believe again. It's what turns a manager into a mentor. It's what makes a team says, I'll follow you wherever you go to. Have you had that before? If you don't care, no one else will. So I'll say, bring your whole self to the table, not just the version you think is safe. Show up with joy, with a sense of mission that says, I'm not just here to do the job. I'm here to live it better. Now, hear me. People don't follow your CV. It doesn't matter how rich your CV is. No, they follow your passion. They follow your why. They follow how you make them feel. Leadership is not about shutting down. No, it's not at all. It's about lightening up. It's about inspiring people in a way that their soul sits upright and says, yes, let's build this. If your passion doesn't show up, my question is, why should they? If you don't demonstrate your passion, it doesn't show up. Why should your team show up? Now, let's get a bit practical here. Here are some few ways you could lead with purpose starting today. And this tip is for the emerging leaders, but also some experienced leaders can gain a bit of tip from here too. 1, know your why and keep it visible. Write it down. Say it loud. Let it guide your decisions. Leadership without purpose is just noise with a title. Number 2, check your energy, not just your tasks. Are you actually showing up fully or you're just ticking the boxes? People feel your energy before they even see your output. Absolutely, they do. 3, stop blaming. start building. Stop the blaming culture. When something goes wrong, don't look for someone to blame. I'm sure this resonates with someone listening to me. Look for what can be built better. Speak life, not just instructions. That's number 4. Tell your team what they're doing right. Encourage them. Stop yelling. Stop shouting. Stop finding a scapegoat. Stop finding someone to blame. Leadership isn't a position, it's actually an atmosphere that you build. It's an atmosphere that you actually build. It's an atmosphere that you also create. So here's my call to you. Every emerging leaders, rising professionals, or student leaders with big dreams, don't lead the way they led if you know it didn't work. Don't copy the dysfunction just to survive in it. We're not here to survive leadership. We're actually here to revive it. Yes, there is pressure, no doubt. But you've got purpose and passion, and people watching you need something different. Let's stop giving excuses. Let's start breathing life into leadership. Let's start showing what leadership is meant to be. Now, you're not too young, you're not too late, you're not too tired. You're just getting started. And we're building something better. And you should also build something better. And you should be part of those leaders, emerging leaders, that wants to build something better. Now, this brings us to the end of today's episode. If this actually spoke to you, kindly share it with someone who is ready to break the cycle. Subscribe, follow, leave a comment, and let's lead with purpose and inspire with passion. Until next time, lead well, lead differently, lead whole. Take care. Bye.